Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and we're going to be recapping today's NBA games as we had 6 NBA games today, and we're going to be recapping them all. Some decent games today, some close ones, an overtime game, 2 games right down to the end, and we start with a really good one tonight against with the Portland Trailblazers and the Philadelphia 76ers. The 76ers beat the Trailblazers on a game-winning shot by Joel Embiid, 120-119. Tough loss for the Trailblazers as their playoff and play-in chances continue to fall down the drain as they still stay at the 13th seed. And I think if not a game back, a game and a half back now from the 10 seed. So that is not a good loss for the Blazers today. They needed a win bad, and now they're about, I do believe, with the Lakers getting the win and then the Pelicans against the other night, I think now that the Blazers are a game and a half back. So that's not a good thing for Portland. So this was a must win for them, especially being really close with a good team like Philly, and they were not able to get it done tonight. 119-120. Joel Embiid, what a game for him. Game-winning shot, 39 points and 7 rebounds. James Harden with a pretty decent game as well. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, near triple-double for the Beard. Then off the bench, you have 2 scorers off the bench with double figures, 13 for Melton and Georgie Yang with 12, and then Tyrese Maxey with 13 for the Sixers. For the Blazers, you got their leading scorer for Anthony Simons with 34. Yusuf Nurkic returns for the Trailblazers tonight, 11, 5, and 5. Damian Lillard has 22, 6, and 11. And Jeremy Grant has 22. So, first full healthy game for the Blazers. I mean, Simons, Lillard, Grant, Nurkic all playing, Thibault, Reddish, because those guys are new to the team. So, a pretty good game against the Sixers, but it ends up in a loss, so no, that's not good. Hawks-Wizards. Hawks beat the Wizards 114-107. Bradley Beal scores 27. Porzingis scores 22 for the Hawks. 28 for Trae Young. And then 16 for DeJounte Murray. 18 for DeAndre Hunter. And then 15 for Bogdan Bogdanovic. And 14 for Sadiq Bey. Upset down in San Antonio. The Rockets have the worst. My Houston Rockets have the worst team. Honestly, even though my Houston Rockets have the worst record in the NBA, I think the Spurs are the ultimate worst. I think the Spurs are the worst team in the West. So ultimately, not officially, not by record, but I think the Spurs are the worst team in the West. So the worst team in the West beats the best team in the West and fully healthy. And not only that, but Jokic had a hell of a night. Jokic had 37, 11, and 11. Jamal Murray scores 24. This was a fully healthy Nuggets team tonight. That's embarrassing for the Nuggets. That is really embarrassing. Spurs, Keldon Johnson, 23, 19 for Jeremy Sohan, 14 for Devin Vassell, 20 for Doug McDermott. And then for the Nuggets, just a bad night. There was even a near fight. Yeah, it was like a sort of a fight in this game as well. I think MPJ dunked on Zach Collins, and then Zach Collins pushed him, and then MPJ put his hands on his neck. Some weird altercation, but huge upset there. A fully Nuggets team and Jokic having a 35-point plus triple-double. You should not be losing that game to the Spurs. That is very disappointing for the number 1 team in the Western Conference. All right, Nets, Timberwolves. You got an overtime game between the Nets and the Timberwolves. That honestly, what a great play by the Timberwolves to send this one to overtime. A Naz Reid triple to send it to overtime, 114-114. But the Nets get the job, handle the job in overtime, 124-123. And Edwards scores 32. Rudy Gobert scores 26 and 13, 15 for McDaniels. The guy who I don't want to say saved the day. Actually, the funny thing is that was Naz Reid's only bucket of the game. That was the only thing he did in this whole game was hit that game-tying bucket. But it ultimately didn't do anything for them because they ended up losing the game. Bridges scored 34. 29 and 11 assists for Spencer Dinwiddie. He had 11 and 9 for Claxton, 11 for Dorian Finney-Smith, 15 for Cam Johnson, 12 and 15 for Royce O'Neal, and 11 for Seth Curry. How many nets touched the floor tonight? So 9 nets touched the floor tonight. 7 out of 9 were in double figures. The only ones that were not in double figures was Joe Harris with 0, and he only took 1 shot, and Cam Thomas, as he fell off since those 40-point performances, and Cam Thomas only took 1 shot as well. So the whole Nets team tonight was balling. Great win for the Nets. Let's move on to the Cavs and the Heat. Good win for the Heat after losing to the Cavs in Miami, and now they play in Miami yet again, and the Miami Heat get the job done 119 to 115, 33 for Butler, 19 for Bam, 25 for Hero, 14 for Max Strus, and good win for the Heat. Kyle Lowry's still not back. Cavaliers, 42 for Mitchell. He's just he's staying balling. Not fully healthy Cavaliers team tonight, so give them a little bit of a break. No Garland. Who else were they without? That was just Garland, I believe. Yeah, it was just Garland that they were without tonight, which is a big part of their team. But I think with the talent they have, they could still beat the Heat, and they were close in this one, only lost by 4, and also got outscored massively in the fourth quarter, 37-26. But besides Mitchell scoring 42, LeVert has 16, Okoro has 16, and then 12 for Evan Mobley. Moving on to the Lakers and the Raptors. Lakers in a comeback win over the Raptors, win 122 to 112. Anthony Davis, not that great of a performance tonight. Only took 7 shots, but had 8 points and 9 rebounds. He must have gotten hurt or something. No, I don't think he got hurt. I could be wrong. I don't know. Russell scores 28. D'Lo in his return scores 28. Vanderbilt scores 16. Schroeder scores 23. Rui Hachimura scores 16. Austin Reeves scores 18. Great performances by those 5 guys right there. Lakers get the win. They continue to keep this thing going. OG Anunoby, he scores 31 in this game. He took a bunch of shots. He didn't miss his first shot until the final minute of the third quarter, and he ended up finishing the game with 2 missed shots. But, to take like 10 shots or maybe a little bit less and make all of them all the way to that point, he was balling for a while there. And he finishes with 31, but that's not even the thing. He's not even the leading scorer for them tonight. Scotty Barnes finishes with 32, 9, and 7. Great performance by him. Nearly a triple-double. He was 1 rebound and 3 assists away. Then 17 and 10 for Jakob Poeltl, and then 8 and 10 assists for Fred VanVleet after we saw him kind of go off on the refs a couple nights ago. So, yeah. Great win for the Lakers there, and they get closer and closer. With this win, they're only half a game back from right now they're at the 9 seed. They're only a half a game back from the 7 or 8 seed with where the Timberwolves and the Mavericks are. So the Lakers keep going up, and with a decent, easy schedule coming up. You got a Knicks team who, yes, the Knicks are really good, but also Jalen Brunson could be questionable, and they're also going to be playing off of a back-to-back, and then a pretty decent easy schedule for the next 10 games. I could honestly see them going about 7-3 in their next 10 games, or after tonight, it would be about 6-3 in their next, or maybe 7-2 in their next 10 games. So next 9 games, because that I was including tonight's performance because of something I saw before tonight, their next 10 games, and that game was included. Easy schedule. You got the Thunder, you got my Houston Rockets, I hate to say it, you got the Magic, you got the Bulls twice, you got the Knicks, who could be without Brunson. The only hard matchups you really got in the next 10 games is you got the Mavericks and you got the Suns. Those are the 2 hardest games. And after that, it's all easy opponents for the Lakers. So you guys let me know your thoughts on today's games, and that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.